Hi everyone! I am going to hike the W Trek in Patagonia for the 4th time. And this is everything that I'm going to have in my backpack. Like I said, I've done the W Trek three times now, so this will be my 4th. But I have hiked all over the world. I've been hiking all around the world for a decade now. And so you'll be surprised at a lot of the items that I choose to bring. So I encourage you to watch this entire video. You will learn something that will change things for you on your next backpacking trip. So let's get started. The first thing that I want to show you is my backpack. This is an Osprey 48-liter backpack. I'm gonna set it down because it's kind of heavy. I bought that backpack in 2015 and it has exclusively been the backpack that I have taken on every backpacking trip since then. So again, it's 48 liters. For the W Trek in Patagonia, I recommend taking anything. If you're an ultralighter, you might be able to go down to like 30 liters, but my sweet spot is really 40 to 50 liters. Anything bigger than that, you're carrying too much. Anything less than that, you may not be able to fit all of the clothing layers and just different little things that you need for the W Trek. So Osprey is my favorite brand, and that 40 to 50 liter range is my sweet spot. Next, I'm going to show you my trekking poles. So these are trekking poles from Decathlon. It is the 4-class 500. These are about 40 bucks, and I ordered them most recently online. I bought them in the Decathlon store several years ago, used them on many treks around the world, brought them in my carry-on luggage, and then got them taken away recently by TSA traveling through Chicago. So you never know when they're gonna take your trekking poles. So I don't invest in expensive ones, like $100 plus. I would not invest in those type of trekking poles to travel internationally unless you're checking a bag, because you might get them taken away. That's why I buy the $40 ones, cross my fingers, and hope that I get to the trek and back home with them safely. And if not, it's not the end of the world. Next is my toiletry kit. So this is a little Sea to Summit toiletry kit. It's really nice that it has this hook and kind of like an open display. There's also a pocket on the back, and the hook is great because sometimes you're in a bathroom or even in the shower and there's nowhere to set your stuff. So you can hang this on the door or hang it wherever you can, and it just helps have easier access to your toiletries. The first group of items that I'm going to go through now is the toiletries. So we'll start with the basics: toothbrush, mini toothpaste, floss. I have a comb. I got this comb when I was hiking the Camino because I brought a normal sized, like old travel sized hairbrush. And after a few days on the Camino, I was like, you know what? I need to shed some weight. And this was sitting in a hotel and it was free. It wasn't used. I swear it was like something that they were giving me in the room. And I thought, I'm gonna just rough it a little bit and take a comb. So now I travel only with a small comb because, as they say, every ounce counts. I know. Some Q-tips. Face moisturizer. Dr. Bronner's soap. Little mini deodorant. I have a razor, feminine products, nail clippers, and tweezers. I have an extra ponytail holder, extra scrunchy. Chapstick that has sunscreen in it. Actual sunscreen. This might be overkill because I have this sunscreen stick too. So I may end up just bringing the stick, because in Patagonia I'm not going to have a lot of exposed skin. So yeah, I'll probably ditch this guy or just take it to Puerto Natales and just take this little sunscreen stick on the W Trek. Some wet wipes. And then I want to tell you about the different medicines that I take with me, because these have come in handy so many times, especially Dayquil and NyQuil. When you get sick on the trail and you don't have access to stuff like this, it sucks. So the NyQuil is going to help you sleep. The Dayquil is going to help you get through the day. And this has saved me and the people who travel with me so many times. So these are great to bring. Amazon actually has their own brand, so that's what I've been buying. Some Pepto. This helps when you get a tummy ache or any kind of stomach issues. And then I take a handful of cough drops because, again, when you're out there in the national park and you don't have access to stuff like this and you get a cough, this can really help you sleep and just really help you get through the day. I also take some zinc tablets, and if I feel sick or like I'm getting a cold, I start taking those right away. And then, of course, you're gonna need Tylenol or ibuprofen just for sore muscles. You got to bring something like this with you on the W trek or anytime you go hiking, just in case. And then next, I have some hand sanitizer. And my next little category is what I use for sleeping. So I have a sleeping bag liner. This one is Thermo-Rest. It does add warmth, and that is what I want on the W trek, especially because we are staying in refugios for 2 nights and we are camping in their campsites that they set up for you for 2 nights. So I'm gonna need some extra warmth, especially when I'm sleeping outdoors. I have an eye mask. Don't skimp on your eye mask. Don't bring some cheap eye mask. Just get one that's cozy, because sleep is so important when you're traveling and when you're trekking for just regenerating your body and your muscles. So make sure you get a comfy eye mask. And these are, I put them in a different container, but these are little earplugs that are like, what is that, silicone earplug? I think they're called silicone earplugs, and they really block out all of the sound. So these are amazing for travel. You can get them on Amazon as well. A lot of the items here you can get on Amazon. My next category is for sore muscles. I have some Tiger Balm, put it into a different lightweight container because it comes in glass, which is pretty heavy. So some Tiger Balm, and I have this ball. This ball, oh, it's a godsend. So when you get to your refugio for the night, you can use this on your back. Like, let's say your back, you have sore muscles on your back or in your glutes, or your feet. I mostly use it for my feet. You roll your feet out and it just feels really good, and it helps with the soreness along the trek. And my next category is blister prevention and treatment. So I have Vaseline. Vaseline stops friction on your toes. So if you have friction on your toes, you're going to get a blister, possibly if it happens long enough. And Vaseline between the toes stops that friction completely and prevents blisters. You have to have it when you're traveling, because a blister can really mess your trip up. And then I have bandage tape. You never know what this is going to come in handy for, but always bring some bandage tape. And this little pair of lightweight scissors. I think they're bandage scissors. Actually, you know what? They came with my first aid kit. So these are so handy in so many different situations. Get a little pair of scissors, or get a first aid kit, better yet, and the scissors come with it. This is my first aid kit, bought on Amazon, has Band-Aids, all kinds of little stuff in there just to treat any minor injuries. And next, I will show you some of my miscellaneous kind of gear items. Sunglasses, of course. A hanky. I've probably talked about this in other videos. A hanky, I know I sound like a grandpa, but when you have a sniffly nose, or if your nose is running a little bit, my nose runs when it's cold or when I'm hiking a lot, and a hanky is just so great because you can use it, you can wash it, use it again. It's not like tissues where you just keep throwing them away. So it saves on some waste, and just bring one hanky. I promise you'll use it. And since we are going to Patagonia and it's going to be cold, I got some hot hands. Now, I don't usually travel with these, but my friend Laura brought them last time we went to Patagonia together, and she was like, you should add these to your packing list. So here we are, we have hand warmers. Next category is snacks and other little food items. I'm taking 1 protein bar per day to eat out on the trail. And then 1 liquid IV per day. This is electrolytes. I get the sugar-free ones from Costco, and they are delicious. And then I get this energy gum. This is gum that has caffeine in it that I got on Amazon, and I really like it. So, but you could also do like caffeine pills or anything that just has a little bit of caffeine and it helps out on the trail. Speaking of caffeine, this, I put it into a different container, but this is coffee. This is instant coffee. Last time I did the W trek, there were several times where I thought, man, I wish I could have a cup of coffee or more coffee, and I had access to hot water, but maybe I didn't have access to coffee. So I'm bringing some instant coffee on this trip. Another thing that I learned from last time is that when it rains, which it does in Patagonia, your socks get wet, everything gets wet, and there's like one fire inside the refugios, and then everybody wants to put their shoes and their socks and their jackets, whatever, around the fire to try and dry it. It's your only chance to dry anything. And a lot of times all the space would get taken up, and I'm taking these clips, what do you call these? Clothing pins. I'm taking these clothing pins with me because I think maybe I could pin my socks up in different places when there's not a whole lot of space. So I think those are going to be really smart. I have a little pack of duct tape. I got this on Amazon. It's made for hiking trips, made for anything outdoors. And sometimes, like, you don't always need it, but this is one of those things where when you do need it and someone has it, it is so clutch. So a little wad of duct tape. And my next category is bathroom items. Very glamorous. This is my little pee wipe. You can buy these on Amazon. There's a few different brands out there. KUHL Cloth is a women-owned company. I actually don't have that one because I didn't know about them when I bought this. But if you get one, you could get one from KUHL Cloth. They have the most fun designs. And ladies, this is just it's like instead of using toilet paper on the trail, which you have to then get rid of or carry it with you, is what you need to do and throw it away somewhere. But this eliminates the waste completely, and you use it as just a wipe, and then so it folds, and then you fold it back up, attach it to the outside of your backpack so it dries, and then when you get to the refugio, you just wash it out with water and hang it to dry, and it's dry by the next morning. It dries really quickly. This is a very awesome item that I always take on backpacking trips now. Some emergency toilet paper. And this is a shovel that is for if you have to poo in nature, you can dig a hole and you can bury it. Yep. Sorry to tell you that, but it's true. I have a headlamp because we are hiking to the towers at sunrise. So I need a headlamp to get to the towers because it will be dark. And then we're into my electronics section, in which I have a iPhone charger, a charging cube, a converter, outlet converter, because the outlets in Chile are different. So this has a regular outlet, and then it has USB and USB-C. That is a really awesome item to have. And then I have this is my battery pack. It's very lightweight, and it actually has a little chargers in it, which is so funny because I just got the new iPhone and I'm just right now realizing that I don't think that's gonna fit. But alas, this is USB-C, so it is. How amazing. It has like the iPhone one, and then it has USB-C, so that works for both iPhone and Android, or the new iPhones too have that USB-C. Okay, and then AirPods. I am taking my AirPods with me. Sometimes I like to listen to music, or sometimes it helps me when I'm laying in bed to fall asleep. You know, if there's somebody snoring ferociously, I can put in my AirPods for a little bit. Another miscellaneous item, Monopoly deal. We are going on this trip with groups. I lead groups of people on trips like the W Trek. And this is just so fun to have a game to play when you get to the refugio. Maybe it's raining outside, whatever, you're stuck inside. A little Monopoly deal or even a deck of cards will do to have some fun games, and maybe you'll meet some new people in the refugios. My water items. This is a platypus water bottle. This is a funny bottle that I buy on Amazon, and I replace them every couple of years. And I love it because you fill it up and it stands on its own. But then when it's empty, you can just fold it up and stick it in your pocket. It gets really small. So it's just an awesome thing to travel with instead of bringing kind of like a bulky Nalgene bottle or any, like definitely don't bring any heavy bottles. Bring something that weighs almost nothing like this. Or you can just get a water bottle when you're in Puerto Natales or before you enter the park and just keep reusing it. A note about water in Patagonia. The water from the streams is drinkable. Do your own research, but when we are in Patagonia, we drink directly from the streams. It's one of my favorite things about being in Patagonia. You just fill your bottle up and drink it because there's not cows or anything in the national park or anything that could be polluting that water. So it's so nice to just fill it up and drink straight from the stream. And then of course I have my Camelback. This one I think is 2.5 liters. Let's see, 1.5. Yeah, it's a 2.5 liter Camelback bladder reservoir. And I love hiking with these. I just don't do my treks without it because I don't want to ask someone to pull up my water bottle or have to stop and get my water bottle, take my pack off and get my water bottle out. I want access to drink as I'm hiking, which is the whole point of this. Next, I have a baby towel. This is a really tiny Sea to Summit towel. Highly recommend this brand, this Airlight. Get the large one so that it covers your whole body. I accidentally got one that's a little bit too small. Actually, you know what? This is the large, so get the extra large if you can find it. This does cover my body, but it's not like, it's not that comfortable. It doesn't cover me enough. So I would get the extra large of this Sea to Summit Airlight towel. My next category is waterproofing. In Patagonia, it rains a lot. It's going to rain on us. We're probably gonna get soaking wet. Maybe not, but it's happened every time I've been to Patagonia, I've gotten soaking wet. So this is a backpack cover, simple, waterproof backpack cover. This is a Frog Togs poncho. So I am bringing both a poncho and a rain jacket because that is my best chance at staying dry out there, and I really want to stay dry. And then this is kind of a random thing that I always bring with me. This is a pair of gloves. And when I put on my warm gloves, if I want them to be waterproofed as I hike, this is my waterproof. So I put on my gloves and then I put on these latex gloves, and then I have waterproof hands. It's pretty awesome. And I also have a trash bag, just a kitchen trash bag. And now I line my bag with this. Before I put any of my stuff into my bag, I line it with a trash bag. And then I put my stuff inside the trash bag, tie the trash bag. It's an extra waterproofing system for all of my stuff because I really don't want my stuff to get wet. And then I have a grocery bag, which I use for putting dirty clothes in. When my socks are stinky, I put them in there. And then I have some Ziploc bags that always come in handy. And then I have this Sea to Summit small dry bag. And that is what I'm going to put my wallet and my passport in, because these are the things that I really cannot let get wet. So put them in there, and those are going to stay in the top of my backpack so that I have easy access to them, because when you check into the refugios, they all ask for your passport. So you want to have easy access to those items. Okay, let's move on over to the other side of the table. This section is going to be clothing and shoes and warm accessories, because Patagonia is cold, you guys, and it is almost never warm enough there to be in like shorts and a t-shirt. Every time I've been to Patagonia, I have been in long pants, I've been in long sleeves, I'm always wearing a jacket, always wearing a headband because it's so windy. So that's a big tip on Patagonia, is you want to have your ears covered because it is so windy, and it can be just kind of annoying to have the wind going in and out of your ears so much. So let me tell you about what I do for that. First off, a simple pair of like running gloves. I'm not going in winter in Patagonia, I'm going in spring. So I don't need like a big thick pair of ski gloves or anything. That would be overkill. So these running gloves are great. They even have like some grip on them. So when I'm holding my hiking poles, those will be really nice to have. A Patagonia headband. How fitting is that? This is my favorite. This is like one of my favorite pieces of gear. I use it all the time on every trek. I always have this. It's warm, it's fleece lined, and it's just so cozy and keeps your ears warm while you hike. And then I have a half buff. I love this. It also doubles as a great headband to keep your hair out of your face. And I love buffs, so I also have a full buff, just in case I want to use that. And then I have a warm, this is a fleece neck warmer. So really keeps like the wind off of my neck and just make sure that I'm super cozy, either at night. I might use it in the refugios or while I'm camping, or just even if I'm hiking on a really cold day, I would use that. And then I have my outdoor research hat. Another Patagonia tip, your hat needs to have a string on it, or you're gonna lose it. It's gonna fly away in the wind and you'll never see it again. The wind there is something else. It's a whole part of the experience. So you're gonna wanna have a hat that has a string. This is a little out of order, I feel, but this is a day pack. It folds down into this little sack and becomes really tiny. Now, you're gonna wanna bring a day pack because when you hike to the Britannico lookout, which is like the middle part of the W shape, you can leave your backpacks at a place called Italiano. There's like this area where everyone just stores their backpacks, and you can go up the W without taking your huge backpack. So you can put some water in here, you can put snacks, sunscreen, layers, whatever else you want in your little day pack. And then how nice is that? Because there's a lot of incline going up to the Britannico lookout, that you get to really lower your weight here and just kind of enjoy your hike while bringing a lot less stuff. So tiny, ultralight day pack. I love this one. The brand is 4 Monster and it's from Amazon, 20 bucks. Next, these are for my fiance who has knee problems. And these are like knee braces that he uses a lot. So I have those in my pile to remind you that if you need knee braces, if you have knee problems, you can bring these with you. They're pretty small. And then these are ankle braces. So let me tell you what this is for. We are doing a glacier trek on Glacier Gray. If you didn't know, you can, from the Gray Refugio, you can do glacier trekking on Glacier Gray, or you can do kayaking. And we chose this time to do the glacier trekking. I'm super excited. It'll be my first time doing it. And they told us to bring ankle supportive shoes. Now, I hike in trail running shoes. So I bought these ankle braces to kind of add some support to our ankles as we're in our crampons on this glacier. So that's my theory. I'll let you know how it works out. And then one more random item is a sitting pad. I love this thing. I put it in the front of my backpack. And when I want to sit down on trail, instead of getting my butt dirty or sitting in the dirt, or even if it's wet grass or something, I take out my sitting pad, I sit on it, and it's amazing. And people are always like, I wish I had one. So get one. They're great. And it's extremely lightweight. It weighs almost nothing. Next, let's go for shoes, and then I will talk about the clothing that I'm bringing. As my camp shoes, when I get to camp, I have these Tevas that are so worn out, but I love them so much and they don't make them anymore. So I'm gonna wear them until they break. These I put on when I get to camp, when I get to the Refugio, and I wanna get my feet out of my dang boots or shoes that I've been hiking in all day. I slip them into these bad boys, and these are just my cozies that I wear the rest of the night. And then for my shoes, I wear the Brooks Cascadia trail running shoes. I just got these at REI, so these are the most recent model of the Cascadia. I'm looking for a number, but I'm not seeing one. I feel like it's like the 16 or something, but Brooks can sponsor me whenever they want to because I have been wearing these shoes since 2015. It's the only hiking shoe that I am in love with, the Brooks Cascadia. They're not for everyone. Hiking shoes are very dependent on the person, but for my foot, it's just Brooks for me all the way. And then let's get into clothing. This is our last category. I have 2 sports bras. I am bringing 3 to 5 pairs of underwear. I don't have those here with me because I didn't want to show you my underwear. But so you know, I'm bringing 3 to 5 pairs of underwear. I'm bringing 3 pairs of hiking socks. So I will wear 2 of them for 2 days. And I'm bringing 1 pair of cozy nighttime socks. Can you tell how much I love going to bed? I have so many little cozy nighttime items, and this is one of them. Cozy nighttime socks. They're just like fleece socks. But it's so great when you just get to cuddle up at the end of a big trekking day and be cozy in your bed. Let's get into our final category, which is clothing. This is a big one. Patagonia, you really need specific items and you need to stay warm out there. So layering is the best technique to keep you warm. Now I organize this pile from top items to bottom items and from the least warm to the most warm. So let's talk about hiking shirts. I have 2 hiking shirts. This is a wool shirt. It is made by KUHL, the brand, KUHL. And then I have 1 Patagonia Capilene t-shirt. And this is one of my favorite hiking t-shirts. Like I have this in 4 colors because I love it. It doesn't get very stinky for me. I can wear it multiple days. I can wash it. It's quick dry and it's very comfortable to hike in. And then I have this is a North Face. It's a hooded long sleeve shirt. I call it like a hike hoodie. So highly recommend bringing one of these just for those really chilly days if you want to hike in long sleeves. And then I have a thermal. This is a wool, smart wool top. This is very warm. So when I'm camping, I will probably be sleeping in this layer. And then I have my cool rain jacket. Like I said, I have a rain jacket and I have a poncho because Patagonia is crazy. So I learned last time that I want to take both. And then I have this fleece zip up hoodie that's kind of a light layer, but it's really warm. This is made by KUHL. And then I have my Patagonia Nano Puff. I think this is the Nano Puff or maybe it's the Nano Air. Can't remember which one it is, but it's very old and I just love it. I love the color. And this is a really warm and really lightweight layer. So let's say it's the coldest day ever. What am I wearing? I am wearing, on the coldest day ever, probably my smart wool as my base layer. And then I have on a fleece. And on top of my fleece, I have my Patagonia Puffy. So that is just as warm as it's gonna get. And then I have my fleece guy around my neck and my fleece guy around my ears. And that would keep me warm in pretty much any environment that I'm in. Now let's talk about bottoms. I'm bringing a pair of shorts. Am I gonna wear the shorts? Probably not. And I may even leave them behind in Puerto Natales depending on the weather. In Patagonia, I hike in pants. It's cold, it's windy, it's rainy, and these shorts are kind of just wishful thinking. If it's a really sunny day, last time I was in Patagonia was in February and March of 2023, and we had some days that were so warm, and I was like, I kind of wish that I had a pair of shorts, and I didn't even bring one. So now I'm bringing a pair of shorts just in case I get to wear them. And then I have this pair of kind of long johns, thermal underlayer. These can fit under my hiking pants. So I've got those. And then I have my hiking pants. These are REI and it's Outdoor Afro, my favorite pants. I'm sorry to say they don't make them anymore. So that's kind of stinks. I wish I could get another pair, but I looked the other day and they don't even make them anymore. So I love these pants. So let's say it's the coldest day ever. What am I wearing as I hike? I am wearing my thermal. This is pretty thin, but they're warm. I'm wearing my thermal pant, like long johns, and then I'm wearing my hiking pants over them. When you're hiking, you're moving, you're expending energy, and you're gonna get hot. So you don't wanna hike in like thick fleece pants or anything like that. So these layers are perfect. And all of my clothes are going to go into an REI packing cube. That sums it up. That is everything that I am taking on the W Trek in Patagonia. Now, when I get back in a couple of weeks, I'm going to make a follow-up video and I'm going to tell you my must-have items. So everything from here that I'm like, you have to bring this with you. It was such a popular item for my groups, or I really needed this in this situation, to kind of give you guys an update on my packing list here. And then I'm going to tell you if there's anything from here, I don't think there is, but if there's anything from here that I'm like, I didn't need that, it was dead weight, like perhaps the shorts, I will let you know. So be on the lookout for my follow-up video. Thank you so much for supporting Travel Light, my travel business. It is my passion. It is my life's work. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video, comment, leave me a comment. Just tell me you watched it or say something nice. And I appreciate you guys to no end for watching these videos and for getting value from them. And I hope that you have a great trip to Patagonia. Okay, here is what it looks like to have all of the items we just talked about, minus a few things that I will be wearing, my shoes, my trekking poles I'll be using, my hat I'll be wearing. This is what it looks like to have all of that stuff in a 48-liter backpack. Move over here. So it feels really light to me. I don't have any water in it yet, so that's something to consider. The water adds a lot of weight to your pack. And one more tip that I'll give you is that sometimes backpacks themselves can weigh 4 pounds, 5 pounds. So when you're trying to cut your weight, under 20 pounds, make sure that you're not buying a backpack that weighs 5 pounds, because it's just such a big percentage of your weight, of your total weight. So make sure you get an ultra light backpack to go on your trips. Osprey makes great ones. And again, this is what it looks like to have all of that stuff in a 48-liter Osprey backpack. Now let's weigh it and see how much it weighs. I use this $12 luggage scale that I bought on Amazon to weigh my stuff. So without water, what do you think? What's your guess? Without water, it's 17.4 pounds is what my backpack weighs. So I'll probably hike with maybe 2 liters of water per day. And that's it. Happy trekking.